Cleetus McFarland spent years turning burnouts and blown engines into one of the biggest automotive channels on the internet. Then he walked into a Michigan short track, put $20,000 on the line, and entered a race he had almost no chance of winning. Berlin Raceway sold out. The entry list was stacked with genuine short track assassins, and the guy whose name was printed on the series banner crossed the line 13th. That number is lying to you, and here is why. If you have somehow missed him, Cleetus McFarland is Garrett Mitchell, a Florida creator sitting on roughly 4.8 million YouTube subscribers and a very real ownership stake in American short track racing. Back in January of 2020, he bought the abandoned DeSoto Speedway in Bradenton, Florida, renamed it the Freedom Factory, and turned that 3/8 mile asphalt oval into a stage for events like the Freedom 500 and the 2.4 hours of Le Mullets. What he built this year is a completely different animal. Back in March, Mitchell told Short Track Scene exactly what he had in mind. He had purchased a straight rail late model from Port City Race Cars, and instead of just renting a seat in somebody else's series, he wanted to promote his own. His plan was simple and clever. He already runs about 6 events a year with his traveling Crown Victoria races, so he would bolt a Pro Late Model series onto those same weekends. Wherever the Crown Vics rolled in, 2 birds, 1 race weekend, 1 enormous audience already paying attention. There was a second motive buried underneath the business plan. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had publicly pushed him toward exactly this kind of racing, arguing that Mitchell should be at local short tracks, piling up laps in pro cars and late models, rather than chasing approval to run super speedways. Mitchell actually listened. He bought the car, tested it at Tri-County Speedway, and came away raving that it carried far more grip and far less horsepower than anything he had driven, which makes it a much better classroom. In June, the Cleetus McFarland Late Model Series became official. Debut set for Saturday, August 15th at Berlin Raceway in Marne, Michigan, a 7/16 mile paved oval carrying 13 degrees of banking in the corners and 9 degrees down the straightaways. 75 laps, $20,000 to the winner. They called it the Big Ass Lake 75. It ran the UARA National Tour Rules package, and veteran technical director Ricky Brooks handled inspection. Registration was open to any late model driver willing to unload. That is not a YouTube stunt with a checkered flag glued on. That is a legitimate short track purse with legitimate tech. Before any of that could happen, though, the week nearly ate his race car. 3 days before his own event, Mitchell entered the Tecton 250 Battle at Berlin, a $40,000 UARA crown jewel. He qualified 22nd in a 27 car field. He spun early, trying to avoid a pileup ahead of him. He fought a tire rub. He got flipped off by a leader while being lapped. Then, with under 20 laps remaining, he got loose directly in front of the race leader, slid down the racetrack, and collected Keith Herp, wrecking both cars. 19th place, heavy damage, and one of the most brutally honest interviews Flow Racing has ever aired, where he flatly told them he just sucks and apologized to Herp and the leaders. 16-year-old Tristan McKee took the win. Bubba Pollard finished second, and Cup Series regular Carson Hocevar came home third, because it explains precisely why short tracks want this man in their building. His in-car live stream during that race peaked above 25,000 concurrent viewers. That is a midweek late model event in Marne, Michigan, pulling live numbers most regional touring series would trade an entire season to reach. Friday night, the Michigan 100 Crown Vic race ran in front of another sold-out Berlin grandstand. Zach Walker won it, and part of his prize was a starting spot in Saturday's late model feature, which is exactly the kind of crossover promoting that makes this whole model interesting. Walker took that spot, rolled off 15th, and finished 18th as the last car on the lead lap. A genuinely respectable night for a guy who had won a Crown Victoria race 24 hours earlier. Then came Saturday, and the racing was outstanding. Dylan Stovall grabbed the lead on lap 2 of the Big Ass Lake 75 and never handed it back. He led the remaining distance, collected the $20,000, and became the first winner in series history. Bubba Pollard mounted a serious late charge and ran out of laps in second. Blake Rowe set fast time in qualifying, drew 11th on the grid after the invert, and Mitchell? Through the entire first 30-lap segment, he ran second, actually running second in a field containing Bubba Pollard, 4 days after folding that same car into scrap. Then the tires quit on him. He overdrove the right rear on the second restart, cooked it completely, and slid backward through the running order to 13th. His own words afterward were that he ran second the whole first stint, beat up his right rear badly by overdriving it, and fell off bad. Then he added that he loves the thing and loves the seat time. That reaction tells you everything. Somebody chasing clout would have buried 13th. Somebody chasing racecraft understands that holding second for 30 laps against that field, then diagnosing exactly how you destroyed your own tire, is worth more than a lucky top 5 you cannot explain. Now for the analysis that actually matters. Tire management is the single hardest skill in late model racing, and it is precisely the skill separating internet drivers from short track veterans. Pollard confirmed it in victory lane, saying you cannot do much of anything unless you are out front. He went further, arguing that modern bodies and aerodynamics have ruined what short track racing used to be. When a driver of Pollard's caliber tells you clean air decides the outcome, a rookie burning up a right rear trying to defend second position suddenly makes a whole lot more sense. Berlin sold out twice in 1 week for Mitchell's events. Stovall stood in victory lane, looked up at those packed grandstands, and said it felt like NASCAR back in the day. Grassroots promoters spend entire careers trying to fill a facility like that. Mitchell did it with a YouTube audience and a hashtag. The Freedom Factory schedule in Bradenton still lists UARA-sanctioned late model events, but nothing running under the Cleetus McFarland Late Model Series name. Mitchell's next confirmed NASCAR start is the Craftsman Truck Series race at Talladega Superspeedway on October 23rd. In the number 4, Nice Motorsports Chevrolet, and he has said that closes out his season. The real question is whether Cleetus McFarland, the promoter, can convert one sold-out Saturday into an actual schedule. Does the Cleetus McFarland Late Model Series survive past year 1, or was Berlin a beautiful one-off? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more short track and NASCAR breakdowns like this one, hit subscribe, because we are covering every lap of it.